It's been a minute since I've made anything regarding Yu-Gi-Oh, honestly. Deck list is in the description in the case you just want a net deck for this list and you don't give a shit about what I have to say about it. Well, it's been a minute, as I've said, and the reason for that is I haven't been playing, but I've come back because of Synchron support. Yes, yes, rejoice. The support is it's okay. It's not terrible so far. So far. Some cards will be played. So one card will be played reluctantly, and one card is, and two cards are played not at all. At least in my list. So I will also describe my thought process because I didn't do that much in my first video regarding my list. So my plan for this list is to it plays a little lower to the ground because the strength of Synchron is speed. Period. End of story. This card is broken. This card's unfair, honestly. But to balance around the fact that this card isn't fair, the rest of the archetype is trash. So, which is on theme, satellite. They play with the archetype has junk in it, right? It's kind of on theme. But so you 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 lean in on the junk speeder effect. So there's three portions of the junk speeder route. It's pre-junk speeder, summon junk speeder, post-junk speeder, right? And then there's some little nuances here and there. Like if sometimes you don't make junk speeder in a line if you're like your hand is incredibly good. Even then, I wouldn't do it because it's the junk speeder alone gives you so much value by summoning four, usually approximately four, sometimes three if you're unlucky to synchro monsters from your deck. Insane. No, specifically tuners. Yeah. No, I want to play lower to the ground because if you result junk speeders, your chances of you winning is incredibly high, even if you are playing lower to the ground. But if you focus on the beginning part, pre-junk speeder, I think it's a lot better because especially if you're going second, if you're going second with like the YouTube combo stuff, which is fun to watch, I'm guilty of that. It's fun to watch, but in a best of three environment, especially if you're going second, it fucking sucks. Like you just can't play sometimes. There are hands that just play through some things. Not it depends on the deck, of course. I mean, this is also anecdotally from many formats ago. But I have played through like 4 or 5 interruption before with mostly engine, if not all engine. But it's stupid rare. It's like incredibly rare. And it's probably because my opponent didn't really know what the deck does. Right? So focus on the beginning part to get the speeder and see where you can go. Now, I would like to because of that, let's segue actually. Let's just segue, right? This card actually does something. From the 4 cards that were revealed, this card actually does the most. Because it is something pre-speeder. It's a 1 card combo to get the speeder. It's not protected by from like Ash or something, Ash or something. But it is a good direction. Realistically speaking, your opponent may look at this card and decide to Ash it, which is not correct. But we will use that fact to help us because we need to take what we can get because we're playing a deck that isn't that very good. And because the point of this deck is to get the speeder. If you have an Ash, why Ash this? When you just Ash speeder. Unless you think that your opponent doesn't have the blocker or something like double junk, reverter, carrier, so on. Alright. So this gives us a 1 card combo in the deck. Not searchable, well, technically searchable, but if you search it via another new card, Full Speed Warrior, it uses your normal summon, which fucking sucks, because All right, let me go through a hypothetical situation. I don't know if you can follow me or not, but let's just try to, all right? Normal summon full speed warrior, activate its effect, add this, activate this effect. You add Quobolt or Stardust Synchron or any Stardust card plus a Junk Synchron. Now tell me, dear viewer, how will you normal summon this Junk Synchron when you've already normal summoned the full speed warrior? Conundrum, right? Quite the issue. It's actually very bad. That's why I'm not playing it. As right? But this card is worth playing. Reluctantly. This is the reluctant card because it's the same power level. It's practically speaking about as good as the Quillbolt Hedgehog from 2004 BC. Okay, BCE, before the fucking Common Era. The card, this card kind of sucks, and it has no synergy really, minus the fact that it can be searched off of Synchro Fellows, and that's honestly enough. That's honestly enough. Anyway, but the plan, right? If you get if you get ashed on your speeder, that's why you play the second speeder. Right? So you can look at this list and like, whoa, Charmy line, Nibiru, shit ton of hand traps. Count them, 16. Why? You want to be able to play going second as well as going first. Right? There's also like a budget version. I don't know if you can see this right here. This list. I cut the Charmies, play Rebel, and three Imperm. You could, if you want to be even cheaper, because Imperm's like $2 right now. You could play the Rebel and replace the Imperms with Ogre, because Ogre's really cheap. But if you don't care about that, whatever. Right. So let me run through this. The idea, shit, two Stardust, two Synchrons that actually give a that enforces your plays. Minus, arguably, Assault could be played at two. I didn't really care for it because two isn't a great level at this, to begin with. Like as a tuner to begin with, it could be later because you can do norm if your hand sucks. It's like I don't know, Trail plus Illumination plus Assault. You can normal summon the Trail, send or rather you would first start with Illumination to see if you get hand trapped. If you get hand trapped, you obviously don't continue to play. If you get Illumination, send Stardust Synchron. Normal summon Trail, special summon Assault Synchron, lowered level of Trail, and summon Speeder. It's really bad though. That's like I'd also never I don't think it's ever come up ever because that's a three-card combo and it's not optimal. In that case, you probably just see what happens. Maybe just hold on to your Mulcharmies or something. Right? Oh, we have that. Why Veiler over? By the way, I'm going off the dome right now. If you want me to have a more detailed and more coherent explanation, I could do that. But for now, I'm too lazy, honestly. So I'm just going off the dome. Helps with, you know, just helps with general talking. But why Veiler over Emperor? Well, you know, you can play both. Doesn't really matter to be honest. But converters exist. I like the send off of converter to help you reach to plays rather than, oh, you know, it's nice to have the imperm for going second. Imperm is, I mean, I think everyone understands that imperm is generally the better card over Veiler. Not always, new situations, but imperm is generally better, especially when second. But because we have the Mulcharmies here, it doesn't feel as bad. And but also worth noting, Veiler has a little bit of a nombo with Herald with the Arclight. But normally your first in, your first disruption is Herald because it can get run over pretty easily. Anyway, why on your mark over tuning? On your mark can grab both a non-tuner or a tuner. I mean, what I mean by that, it can either grab you carrier if you already have Junk Synchron or like Stardust Synchron or something, right? Or it can grab you Junk Synchron or Stardust Synchron when you already have a level 2 in hand or some plays. I think that's more or less it. Doppel's already broken. Doppel's insane. I think if you play Synchron or loosely familiar with the Synchron archetype, everyone knows that Doppelwarrior is insane. Droll, fuck Droll, but we play it because we have to. This obviously isn't a real side deck. Changying, once upon a time, we had a card called Baron de Fleur. It's no longer here, so we play Changying. It actually has some synergies with the end board I want to make. Satellite Warrior has niche applications, or has applications when you get Drolled or Mulcharmy, as I'll show later. Shen Shen, one of the end board pieces. Crystal Wing, generally good card. Not technically part of the end board, but it can be, depending on various situations. It's a toolbox deck. At the end of the day, do whatever the fuck you want. If you don't like this list, sure, go have fun with another list. It's fine. I'm not gonna be. That's the whole. It's the beauty. It's kind of the beauty of the deck. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's still gonna be ass. Anyway, uh, the of course Excel. Shouts to this card being reprinted a lot because this deck is actually pretty cheap. You can probably get this like under 40 bucks. Not this list, the budget version for under 30, 40 bucks until the Mulcharmy gets uh, reprinted. And then maybe it'll be okay. Obviously, you can't get it now anyway because they're playing OCG cards. Uh, Excel, regular Stardust, charge for important reasons because it's a Stardust card and you can make a token off of Trail when you summon it. When you summon Charge Warrior using Trail. I'll show later. Librarian, I love Librarian. Librarian might actually be like my favorite card in the game, which is a shame because I don't really know a deck that feels good to play in a best of three environment while also playing Librarian. It's pretty rare. Yeah, like I would argue this deck doesn't really do that, but I do it anyway because I love the archetype so much. It's double speeder. If you get negated once, you summon it again. Pretty cool. That's the idea. Excel, just in case. It doesn't come up often, but it does help. Right? Herald, however, item door piece. Martial Metal Marcher doesn't come up in lane combo, but it can help. And Celestial Double Star Shaman, insane card. Comes up. This this is one of the reasons why you can play throughout a lot of things. Alright. Now I've looked at the last card that I've not talked about from the structure deck that was revealed. This card isn't very good. But it does have niche applications, but I don't think it's good enough. Just, you know, maybe, sure, if you want to try it out, go for it. I haven't really, this isn't a list that I've really play tested much. I thought about it. It's like all theory so far. Not a lot of practice. It's fine. You know, a general list itself, minus the Mulcharmies and the OCG cards. I have played a good amount because again, I love this archetype, but I haven't really play tested these in a different setting yet, as in on ladder or whatever. Anyway, Crimson Dragon's an idea. Honestly, it's not a terrible idea, but you can even play Crimson Dragon without the search for Crimson Dragon. Not, I'm back and forth on that because you want to play 42 with another soft break. Oh, that's something I need to mention. There are no true hard breaks, like true hard garnets in this deck. It's more of playing with what you have, right? Like what I mentioned earlier. Like Trail is searched or special throughout the combo. Illumination is searched throughout the combo. Assault Synchron is summoned throughout the mainline combo. All of this is mainline theory, right? But if you have a hand like Trail, Illumination, Assault Synchron, you can piece together Spear. You can try to play the game. That's my theory. It goes back to the main idea of the deck, the main theory of the deck of trying to set up Speeder in the most ways possible rather than just one mainline combo and have it be like not extremely fragile. It's still fragile, right? But if you're playing like I don't know the variations of the level 4 F level 4 10U plus Jet Synchron. You could probably get away with that. I mean, it's probably fine, honestly. But I mean, if you really want your normal summon to be Jet Synchron, sometimes you have to. You know, it is what it is. But it doesn't feel good to do it. Of course, it doesn't feel good to go Trail, Illumination, and Assault Synchron either. Because one of your more interesting plays is because it's done via the normal son of Junk Synchron. Junk Synchron allows for plays with Junk Convert, which blocks a hand like Ash on your spear. You can, if you have Doppelwarrior and you get your and you normal summon Junk Synchron, and for whatever reason they actually what am I talking about? I'm tripping. The Doppelwarrior doesn't apply here, but my point stands. Like Jungle, it's not maybe perfect, but it's a list I enjoy playing. That's all that matters. Dispotter. You could do Dispotter and YGO loops if you really wanted to, alongside Crimson Dragon. I don't really care to. Especially now, Malice is a deck, so if you're double hand looping, it could help them, which is a little hypocritical for reasons I will show later. Uh, And Gaia Armor, I thought this was cool. There are other tech cards. I just found this and it could be interesting. But for now, I'm just going to show you the main combo and what you do if you get like Hedgehog. Okay, I'm gonna show you the main line like it's chess or something. It's just uh, if you have if you just get the speeder through like Synchro Fellows, or if you have Synchron Carrier plus Junk Synchron. This combo is a bit different if you have, say, if a converter is used instead of Hedgehog, or if you use converter, send a different synchron to add junk synchron than normal summon junk synchron. Or if you have normal summons a converter plus junk synchron plus another level 2 in the graveyard. It gets a little complex. It's really fun. It's kind of a puzzle, but for now I'm just gonna show you the normal combo. Summon junk. So I'm gonna this goes back to that again. My main idea. Normally you would get Nibiru here. Actually, your turn player, you activate these Stardust Synchron first. So you get Nibiru here, right? But you can still keep playing, which is great because you have the Nibiru token. You send the eh, I can't show it actually. So you send the trail, tribute the token with Synchron, Stardust Synchron from the grave. Summon the trail. Summon Excel Synchron. Excel Stardust Drag. Excel Synchron, whatever the fuck it is called. Uh, activate its effect. Activate Trail's effect. Summon a level 1 token. Summon the Jet Synchron. Uh, with, and summon a token. Sync the two. That you get uh, Double Star Shaman, Chainlink 1, Jet Synchron's Chainlink 2, and you just keep playing. Idea is you can keep playing. The idea is you want to have it so they never have a Nibiru that's good. Of course, if you summon Speeder with Stardust Synchron and I mean using Stardust Synchron and you've used the tribute already, you're kind of fucked. I'm sorry, it is what it is. It's also worth noting that actually I'm gonna go to the next part. I'll just show you the next part. So the next I thought I was tripping. Anyway, summon Stardust. The Nibiru here. But if the Nibiru here, it's the same thing. Plus, you can banish Assault Synchron, summon back the Stardust Dragon. So you have it's even worse for them, right? So now, did I fuck up? Oh, no, I thought I'm tripping balls, dude. I don't know what's going on. Talking and playing this game is a little difficult, right? Use the Illumination that you search, summon Trail from deck, or I think no, I think it's whatever. Anyway, still same thing. Never a good Nibiru. I mean, it's never a great Nibiru. I mean, it's still fine. but it's never great, right? Chain Link 1, Charge Warrior, Chain Link 2, Trail token. Not that it really matters, honestly, but I mean, it's good habit to get into the good habit to get into the chain block stuff. I mean, obviously, if that Ash, they would Ash what is it, the speeder already. All right, they summons Double Star Shaman, Chain Link 1, Jet Synchron, Chain Link 2 to get Converter. Right, summon the 2. It's really cool. The Hedgehog that it does its thing multiple times. Unfortunately, Junk Warrior thing kind of sucks. But anyway, okay, this is the last time that they can mirror. I think, and you can still play. It doesn't feel as good because you used your Double Star Shaman and your Jet Synchron, but you still can play because you have again, Stardust Synchron, the Trail, Illumination, with the Assault Synchron on the Stardust Trail, right? And now, Summon Herald. So, they would Summon Herald, activate Effective Converter, bring back the Jet Synchron, Jump Synchron, excuse me. Now they would need Nibiru plus a hand trap, and the hand trap has to be impermanent, right? Because Herald has the macro-ish effect, so Veiler doesn't work. Well, I guess you could use Mortar too. So, but who the fuck plays Mortar? Mortar isn't real. Um, yeah. So they have to activate Imperm on the Herald here. On resolution, they Nibiru. Okay. It's kind of obvious for those that know, but I just don't assume that everyone knows. Yeah, you summon Librarian. You summon the Chengying. Draw a card. Use the effect of Stardust Dragon. I mean, Stardust Synchron. Tribute to Stardust Dragon. Summon. Get the effect of Trail. It does feel kind of bad that you're wasting. Like, I don't have like one more space would give me a Stardust Dragon on top of this. Not, I mean, Stardust Dragon, the Year of Our Lord 2025, but it is notable. Right? Summon the Trail. And if you're going second, and if you got this far somehow, congratulations. You can actually use Illumination, target whichever Stardust, increases level, then you get a Banish the Changing. It's pretty cool. Probably will come up. Then you end on Shen Shen. This is the end board. Nothing crazy, right? Like again, lower to the ground, but it is Macrocosmos plus Changing plus follow. And that's off one card. Obviously, 2025, not stupid impressive anymore. He also drew 3 cards. But uh, also, right, because of Herald, if you drew, let's say, an Ash, and they use something, they did some shit first, you can Ash it. If it gets Ash gets banished, and you banish off Changing. It's like cool synergies, right? If your board gets broken, you have Shen Shen follow up. You have, I mean, you have follow up from the grave already. Not like nothing crazy. But you have something. You drew 3 cards. Probably something there. Maybe you could extend with it. And that's off one card. It's really cool. So let me show you what happens if you get Fuwalos or what's it called? If you get any Mulcharmy except for Purulia. Purulia doesn't really matter. You give them like 2 draws, you get end on the full board anyway. Or you get Droll. Alright. So start is the same. I'm assuming it's like again, the same kind of setup where it's not protected in any way. If you want to dig around, see what happens. If you have like certain combinations of converter or whatever, or yeah, converter or carrier or whatever, go ahead. But I'm not gonna do that. Let's just say on normal summon, they will charm you or they droll you. You effectively end on the same thing. It, I mean, rogue deck doesn't feel great, so this is 1 draw. If it's if it's Mulcharmy, and this is the second draw because it's per time. But you can activate this, so they're 1 draw and you get a search. so it's not that bad. And the search does activate for follow-up, but you know, cool idea there. Let's just, I'm not even gonna add. Let's just say we got Droll too. The ideas are the same, right? You just summon this, no effect because you don't have anything. And you just pass. And it's either Shen, Satellite Warrior, or Chengi. Nothing crazy. Again, playing a pretty fair deck. It's a pretty fair list of a fair deck. But the point is to you want to be able to play always in some shape or form. Right? Even if you get your speeder negated, you could probably sit on some hand traps or something. Just right, right. And I'll if you're facing Malice with the end board I showed you before, then I don't know, figure it out. Right. So if you activate this, you summon a Stardust Dragon, and then you sink into Satellite Warrior, which I would recommend because it's sticky also. You pop three because you have three. You have Speeder, the normal Stardust, and the Stardust. You also have the fact that it's, again, sticky, right? If it gets destroyed, you can summon the two Stardust monsters in your graveyard. And you gave them, what, a +1? You'd have the, if you get, I mean, if you had if I didn't assume we got Drolled and Mulcharmy, which obviously doesn't make sense, you would also have the Illumination, depending if you didn't get Drolled. And uh, if you got Drolled, then you probably could have kept playing, honestly, in a in some way. The reason why I don't keep going is because it's not worth the resources. You know, I'm very resource minded. It's a fair, more mid-rangey way to play the deck. Right? All right. I think that's wraps up. Another thing I want to show you, just in case you're not familiar, if you open Converter plus any tuner, ditch them both, add junk, normal junk, activate effect, summon the junk converter, summon the speeder, and chain links are very important in this deck because you want to be, you know, blocking everything you can just in case. So if you have chain link summon speeder, chain link one speeder, chain link two converter, they can't ash. They can only hit you with just about everything else, but you know they can't ash. It's it's Ash, Veiler, Imperm, Mourner. Or they rather they need Imperm, Veiler, or Mourner. No one plays Mourner, so it's Veiler or Imperm. Right? And you just keep playing. Okay, you're supposed to in that case you're supposed to summon the level two there. I just misclicked. The reason is because you want you want all your levels. Kind of obvious, but it's worth noting. Okay. I figure I'd show a few test hands, right? So I think that uh, this hand is good, even if you get, let's say, main phased Mulcharmy or like draw phase Mulcharmy or something. A relevant one. Purulia doesn't really affect you too much. You still get you still get a couple of draws, but it's worth it. Right? You can you have Mulcharmy, you have an Ash Blossom. You'll probably draw more when you have a draw. Right? But in this case, let's just say you don't have any hand, you're not getting any hand trap, or rather, you're not getting hand trapped by a turn ender, like a Mulcharmy or a Droll. You have Synchro Fellows, that's one card combo. They ash this, you can Junk Converter with send Ash Blossom. It doesn't feel great because if you do get Mulcharmy at that point, you're like, okay, I kind of have to pass. Or I do the combo and as I showed before, and it's probably fine because you have Droll, right? Okay, next hand. This hand's you might be thinking this hand fucking sucks. It's like it's not the best. I agree, but it's actually still speeder because of why we play on your mark. The problem with this is if they ash this for whatever reason, then you have nothing. Also, you can't use full Fuwalos. Little nombos here and there you have to think about. It's kind of like playing Sid, Shadow, Invoked. Dogmatica back in the day. Just like locks that you have to be aware of, which goes to show what the fuck is this deck? But, it is what it is. So then obviously you have Carrier, Junk Synchron. You don't have Jet Synchron rotation though, which does feel fucking bad, but it is what it is. Another one. This hand doesn't do it, but again, you have Fuwalos plus Veiler plus Ash Blossom, so it feels pretty good. Doesn't feel, or it feels okay. It feels fine. It doesn't feel fantastic, but it feels okay. Just a couple more. All right, this does it. I didn't show you what to do if you have Synchro Fellows, right? And you already drew the Hedgehog, you could just add the Stardust Synchron. Not that big a deal because you play two. And you can just ditch the Hedgehog. You can also, in this case, activate. I know, I'll show you this too, right? Add the carrier, so you do have, well, worth noting as well. Uh, if you get impermed on carrier, it's the same thing as getting impermed on junk, basically. So like, you weren't gonna play anyway. Uh, yeah, this X not good. Yep. So normal summon carrier, normal summon junk synchron. For some reason, if they negate the junk synchron, you can still make speeder. Right. Now you have speeder plus carrier's effect of the chain block. You summon a level 2 token. In these cases, I didn't show earlier. Chain link 1. Not this, obviously. Summon your token. What do you want to summon? You want to summon the Stardust, always. You usually want to summon the junk synchron, because your 2s are really good with 3s. And you probably want to summon the jet. But this is also dependent on various factors. Stardust Synchron's almost always the right choice because you want elimination. But at this point, I don't have like a spreadsheet as combo. It kind of varies at this point. I mean, I could probably think of one. I'm too lazy though, and I don't want to just stop the video for no reason. Just think about the combo and then re-record it because it would take some time. Kind of lazy for that. Anyway, just think one or two more. This does it. This is you have two Charmies and get Mark. So you have combo plus two Charmies. If this was like going second hand, it'd be also be good. Oops. And last one. This is full combo with the Doppelwarrior. Doppelwarrior makes this deck so fun because you go from like semi-linear combos to like I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. So obviously the combos you have a Synchron here, a tuner in particular, rather a tuner, a Synchron in particular. But it really doesn't matter because you need it to be a tuner for your converter. If you get Ash on your converter, because they probably should. Like if you see converter activated and then your Ash isn't useful in the speeder. If you wanted a tip on how to beat this deck too. So like this. Hello. Okay. Let's say they Ash this. And then they just don't get this. Obviously, normal summon Junk Synchron. Activate summon the converter as I showed you before. But let's say they Ash, then I don't have this card. You can actually keep playing by normal summoning one of the Mulcharmies, summoning the Stardust Synchron, special summon the Doppelwarrior, chain link 1 Stardust Synchron, chain link 2 Doppelwarrior. Send the use Illumination from this head of Stardust Synchron. Send Trail, use Stardust Illumination and Engrave, lower the level of Stardust Synchron. That's 3 plus 2, summon Speeder, and it's uh, backed up with Doppelwarrior, but they already ashed in this hypothetical situation, but let's imagine, right? So it feels, I love these combos. I love okay, right? I think you get my point now. It's the deck is consistent-ish. You can play around things-ish. It does everything at like a mediocre level, right? Compared to some of the other Synchron lists that really hyper focus on can I get to after I get speeder, I'm gonna win the game 14 different ways, right? That is cool. I don't that's not one, that's not me. It's fine. I like comboing for 10 minutes. I've done it on Master Duel. I think I have record proof of that. I think I've recorded that, but recorded proof of that. But that's not. I don't really like to play that way. I like a back and forth. I like maneuvering the middle game, aka turn 3, turn 4, and maybe a little onwards. Right. It's really cool that the synergies here. You have the Chun plus Shen Shen plus Arclight. With the now, yeah, you got some banishes going on. Obviously, if you're playing against Malice, uh, don't summon Shen Shen, maybe. Don't summon Omega, maybe. Omega, maybe don't summon Arclight. I mean, Arclight's still fine because it's an Omni, but I'll leave it up to you. It's player discretion. Right. Something worth noting as well is Omega and Shen Shen have this like the ability to recycle, right? Recycle. So you have from banish. So if you generally at the end of the combo, as you may or may not remember, you use the tribute effect and the special summon effect of Trail and Synchron in your opposite order, and they get banished. If you are able to get end on Omega Shen Shen, and that's just one extender, usually you can recycle these two back. If shit hits the fan, you can just keep looping Stardust Synchron and Trail to summon eights. I don't have that many eights here, as you can tell. I would consider putting some more eights inside that. Like Draco Berserker. This is a good one. If you're, I mean, again, if you're against Malice, maybe not as good. Unless, I mean, maybe they're playing like Magnemite, like Bestials. You can, I'll leave it up, again, I'll leave it up to you. It's just a template. Have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Peace.